From a refugee of poverty to the owner of the greatest empire of luxury. Imagine running away from home at age 13, walking 470 kilometers to Paris with nothing in your pocket, and years later creating one of the most valuable brands in the world. This looks like movie script, but it's the real story of Louis Vuitton. What few know is that behind the iconic LV monogram, there is a trajectory of struggle, innovation, and reinvention that has transformed a simple bag maker into the absolute king of luxury. But how did this happen? How did Louis Vuitton get out of nowhere and created a billionaire empire? Stay until the end, because this story will surprise you. And before we start, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any video with the most amazing stories in the world of business and luxury. Now let's find out how Louis Vuitton has built his empire. Louis Vuitton was born on August 4, 1821, in the small village of Angers, located in the mountainous region of Jura, in eastern France. Son of a modest farmer and carpenter, his childhood was marked by simplicity and hard work. From an early age, he was taught to respect wood and to work with his hands, skills that would later prove fundamental on his journey to success. However, his life was deeply impacted by his mother's early death, when he was only 10 years old. His father married again, and his stepmother, according to historical reports, treated Louis with extreme severity. The atmosphere at home became unsustainable, leading the young man to make a drastic decision. At 13, he fled home, leaving behind his family and the village where he was born. With no money and few belongings, Vuitton started a lonely walk of 470 kilometers to Paris. This journey was not only physically exhaustive, but also a mental resistance test. He took 2 years to complete the route, stopping in several cities along the way to work in small manual services in exchange for shelter and food. This period was crucial for the development of its determination and worldview. Arriving in Paris, around 15, the city was in the middle of the Industrial Revolution, with busy streets, innovation, and a rising luxury market. Fascinated by the dynamism of the French capital, Vuitton soon realized that he needed to learn a craft if he wanted to survive and build a new life. It was then that he found work as an apprentice at the Romain Maréchal workshop, one of the most renowned manufacturers of chests and luxury packaging of the time. Gradually, Vuitton began to stand out for his natural talent for woodworking and his ability to create durable and sophisticated chests. His meticulous attention to the details caught the attention of Parisian high society, which years later would open doors to his rise in the world of luxury. The boy, who was once a refugee of poverty and household abuse, now took his first steps towards an empire that would forever transform the fashion and Moroccan industry. Upon arriving in Paris, Louis Vuitton found a city in full transformation. The Industrial Revolution brought with it technological innovations and a new economic elite, composed of aristocrats and bourgeois that valued luxurious and handcrafted products. Vuitton knew that if he wanted to thrive, he would need to become a master in his craft. Determining himself to learn a valuable skill, he got a job as an apprentice in the renowned Romain Maréchal workshop, one of the most prestigious manufacturers of the city's personalized chests and packaging. At the time, traveling was a privilege restricted to the nobility and upper bourgeoisie, and travelers needed sophisticated bags to safely and elegantly transport their belongings. In the workshop, Vuitton quickly stood out for his precision and creativity in the handling of wood and leather. He has learned to manufacture tailor-made chests, adapting them to the taste and needs of each client. His talent was evident, and in a few years he became one of the main artisans of the workshop. The great turn of his career happened in 1852, when Eugénie de Montijo, wife of Emperor Napoleon III, became aware of Vuitton's exceptional work. Impressed with the quality and design of the packaging he manufactured, the Empress named him as his personal manufacturer of chests and luxury packaging. This recognition not only raised its social status, but also opened the doors for an even more exclusive clientele, consisting of nobles and influential figures of high society. Empress's confidence in Vuitton made him become one of France's most sought-after bags. Its name began to be associated with quality, innovation, and sophistication. However, Vuitton knew that to consolidate himself as a true innovative, he would need to create something that revolutionized the sector. It was with this mindset that he began to develop his own ideas to improve travel chests. The traditional models of the time were made with rounded lids, which made stacking difficult and made transport less efficient. In addition, many materials used were fragile and easily damaged during long trips. Vuitton's creative restlessness and his experience accumulated over the years were about to result in an innovation that would forever change the way travel bags were manufactured. After years perfecting his skill as a manufacturer of luxury chests and packaging, Louis Vuitton realized that there was a gap in the market. The elite travelers suffered from bulky and poorly practical bags, which were not designed to accompany the modernization of transport, such as tramp trains and ships. Determined to innovate, he decided to take a bold step, open his own workshop and launch a line of revolutionary chests. In 1854, Vuitton founded his first store at 4 Rue Neuve des Capucines in Paris, officially marking the birth of Maison Louis Vuitton. To differentiate his brand from competition, he developed an innovative design, the first flat-lid travel and waterproof coating. This new approach contrasted with the traditional rounded lid chests, which were less practical and difficult to stack. Vuitton's innovation had an immediate impact on the market. His chests were lighter, sturdy, and easy to transport, quickly becoming a success among elite travelers. In addition, he introduced Trianon canvas, a waterproof and durable fabric that protected the contents of moisture and dust. To consolidate his identity in the sector, Vuitton created his brand's motto: "Securely packs the most fragile objects. Safely packs the most fragile objects." This commitment to quality and durability has made its clientele expand even more. In addition to Empress Eugénie, other members of the nobility and the bourgeoisie began to order their personalized chests, raising the name Louis Vuitton to a new level in the world of luxury. In the following years, his workshop started to grow exponentially, and the craftsman realized that it was just the beginning of something much bigger. His innovative spirit and tireless pursuit of perfection would soon lead him to further expand his mark and consolidate his global reputation. With the success of his workshop and the growing demand for his creations, Louis Vuitton was at the height of his career. However, in 1870, the Franco-Prussian War broke out, bringing instability to France and interrupting brand growth. During the conflict, the city of Paris was surrounded and suffered great destruction, affecting business and infrastructure. Vuitton's workshop did not escape the impacts and was severely damaged, forcing the craftsman to start over from scratch. Despite the crisis, Vuitton did not let herself down. When the war ended, he worked tirelessly to rebuild his business and expand his business. In 1871, he opened a new and largest workshop in Agnières-sur-Seine, on the outskirts of Paris. This new space not only allowed an increase in production, but also paved the way for innovation. It was there that Vuitton began to experience new materials and techniques to make his chests even more sophisticated and functional. One of the most notable advances of this period was the introduction of a new coating pattern to its chests. Until then, Trianon canvas had already revolutionized the industry, but Vuitton knew it could go further. Thus, he developed a new beige canvas and striped brown, which not only increased durability, but also helped distinguish his products from imitations that were beginning to emerge. The post-war period also marked the expansion of Vuitton's clientele. Before, his clientele was limited to the Parisian elite and the European royalty. Now, with the expansion of rail and maritime transport, its products have been known internationally. Nobles, entrepreneurs, and explorers from around the world began to order their personalized chests, consolidating the brand as a synonym for overall sophistication and status. Maison Louis Vuitton's reputation was growing rapidly, and the founder was determined to ensure that his brand remained unique and inimitable. His next big challenge would be to protect his identity against counterfeits and consolidate the brand once and for all as an undisputed reference in the world of luxury. In the following years, the Louis Vuitton brand continued to grow, but along with success came a new problem: forgery. As their chests became increasingly popular between the European and international elite, imitators began to copy their designs and resell them as authentic. Vuitton knew he needed effectively to protect his brand and ensure that his products were unmistakable. In 1892, Louis Vuitton passed away, leaving his empire in the hands of his son, Georges Vuitton. Determined to honor his father's legacy and further expand the brand, Georges made a decision that would change the company's history, create a unique and exclusive standard for Louis Vuitton products. This is how, in 1896, the iconic LV monogram was born. Inspired by the Oriental designs and the Art Nouveau trend of the time, the monogram combined the initials LV with graphic symbols such as flowers and stars. More than just a decorative pattern, this innovation helped differentiate authentic products from Louis Vuitton from imitations. Design has become a symbol of status and exclusivity, immediately recognized in the world of luxury. In addition to the monogram, Georges Vuitton also made another major contribution to the brand: the safe closure system. Before that, the travel chests were often targets of theft, as the locking mechanisms were simple and easy to violate. Georges developed a revolutionary lock closure, which became one of the differentials of Louis Vuitton. He was so confident in the security of his system that he even challenged Harry Houdini, the famous escapista, to try to open one of his chests. Houdini never accepted the challenge, but the marketing play has ensured even more notoriety for the brand. With these innovations, Louis Vuitton has consolidated its international presence, expanding to London, New York, and other luxury capitals. The LV bags were seen in the transatlantic and the world elite train stations, becoming a symbol of prestige and elegance. By this time, the brand was no longer just a luxury bag maker. It became a global reference in the universe of fashion and exclusive design. In the following years, this expansion would pave the way for new products and consolidate Louis Vuitton as a true empire of luxury. With the success of the LV monogram and the innovative safe closure system, Louis Vuitton entered the 20th century as the main reference in luxury bags and chests. However, the world was changing rapidly, and the brand would need to adapt to the new demands of society to maintain its relevance. The turn of the century brought a significant advance in the means of transport. Luxury trains such as Orient Express and large transatlantic ships such as Titanic have made trips more accessible to the elite. With this, the need for more compact and versatile luggage has grown. Louis Vuitton noticed this trend and in 1930 launched one of the most iconic products in its history, Keepall, a lightweight and spacious, perfect locking bag. Keepall's success led the brand to create lower and more practical versions for everyday life, resulting in the launch of Speedy in 1932. This model quickly became a favorite among women in high society, and years later would be immortalized by icons like Audrey Hepburn, who even asked for a smaller, speedy version for her. Meanwhile, the company continued its international expansion. Already recognized in Europe, Louis Vuitton began to gain prestige in the United States and Asia, strengthening its presence as a mark of global range. During World War II, the company, like many others, faced significant challenges. Amid the Nazi occupation of France, the brand managed to maintain its operations, but its relationship with Vichy's collaborationist government generated controversy later. However, after the war, Louis Vuitton quickly recovered his prestige and continued his journey of expansion. From the 1950s and 1960s, with the growth of the fashion and luxury industry, the brand began to further diversify its product line, going beyond travel and bags. Louis Vuitton was increasingly associated with a sophisticated lifestyle, transcending its origin as a chest manufacturer to become a true luxury empire. With the entry in the second half of the 20th century, the brand was ready to take the next step. The merger with other industry giants and the creation of the world's largest luxury conglomerate. Throughout the 20th century, Louis Vuitton consolidated its position as the most prestigious luxury brand in the sophisticated bags, and accessories sector. However, the global luxury market was evolving, and large companies began to realize that to grow even more, it would be necessary to join forces. In 1987, there was one of the most significant moments in brand history: the merger between Louis Vuitton, the Moet & Chandon Champagne House, and the Hennessy Brandy Distilling, giving rise to the LVMH Group, Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy. This movement marked the birth of the largest luxury conglomerate in the world, an empire that would dominate sectors such as fashion, jewelry, cosmetics, wines, and premium drinks. The fusion brought new challenges and opportunities. From then on, Louis Vuitton was no longer just a family business and joined a corporate giant, which required strategic restructuring to maintain its exclusivity status while expanding its global presence. The man responsible for this transformation was Bernard Arnault, a visionary entrepreneur who would become LVMH CEO. He identified Louis Vuitton as the group's most valuable jewel and started an aggressive expansion plan. During its management, the brand entered the fashion world once and for all, hiring prestigious designers and launching new product lines that went beyond the iconic bags. In the 1990s, Louis Vuitton began to invest heavily in its own stores and flagship stores around the world, consolidating its presence in cities such as New York, London, Tokyo, and Hong Kong. The brand also began collaborating with innovative designers such as Marc Jacobs, who was appointed creative director in 1997 and brought a more modern and bold approach to LV products. The merger with Moet Hennessy not only strengthened Louis Vuitton financially, but also opened doors for new opportunities. Under Arnault's command, LVMH became synonymous with absolute luxury, acquiring iconic marks such as Dior, Givenchy, Fendi, and Bulgari, creating an empire that would define the luxury goods market in the following decades. By this time, Louis Vuitton was no longer just a brand of bags. It was a symbol of status, power, and global exclusivity. But the revolution would not stop there. Entering the 21st century, the brand was preparing for a new phase of reinvention, consolidating itself as one of the most valuable names in the world. With the entrance in the 21st century, Louis Vuitton has consolidated itself as the most valuable luxury brand in the world. Under the leadership of Bernard Arnault, the LVMH Group not only expanded its operations, but also turned Louis Vuitton into a fashion and lifestyle empire, going far beyond iconic bags. In the 2000s, the brand intensified its collaborations with renowned designers, always staying at the forefront of innovation and design. Marc Jacobs's work as a creative director was fundamental to modernize Louis Vuitton's identity, bringing unexpected collaborations with artists such as Takashi Murakami, who created colorful versions of the iconic LV monogram, and Steven Sprouse, responsible for the graffiti handbags that made it an instant success. During this phase, the brand also expanded its line of pret-a-porter clothing product, shoes, watches and jewelry, becoming a complete fashion house. His pieces were paraded in international fashion weeks, and heavy celebrities began to represent the brand, further strengthening their status in the fashion world. Louis Vuitton's global impact was even more intensified with the rise of the luxury market in Asia, especially in China. With the opening of flagships in cities such as Beijing, Shanghai and Hong Kong, the brand saw its sales shoot and consolidated itself as a prestige symbol among Asian consumers who sought exclusivity and tradition. In 2010 and 2020, Louis Vuitton underwent a new revolution by bringing bold creative directors such as Nicolas Ghesquière for the female line and Virgil Abloh, the first black designer to take over the brand's men's line. Abloh, with his strong influence on streetwear, redefined what luxury meant in the 21st century, mixing pop culture, urban fashion, and haute couture design. Its impact was immediate, with sold-out and new generations being attracted to the brand. The brand also reinvented itself in the digital world, adopting aggressive marketing strategies on social networks, collaborating with influencers and exploring the metaverse and blockchain technology to ensure exclusivity and authenticity of its products. Currently, Louis Vuitton is the most valuable luxury mark in the world, valued at billions of dollars and present in over 60 countries. The iconic LV monogram, created in 1896, remains one of the most recognized globally symbols, representing not only luxury and exclusivity, but also tradition, innovation, and status. From a young apprentice who walked 470 kilometers to Paris to escape poverty to a global luxury empire, Louis Vuitton's journey proves that vision, innovation, and excellence can turn a name into a legend. Louis Vuitton's story is a true example of determination, innovation, and vision. From a humble young man who fled from poverty to Paris to the construction of a billionaire empire, his trajectory proves that true luxury does not only come from wealth, but from the ability to turn challenges into opportunities. Today, Louis Vuitton is not just a brand, it is a symbol of status, tradition, and exclusivity, influencing generations and shaping the fashion and luxury industry. Its products continue to be desired worldwide, and its history continues to inspire those who dream big. Now, we want to know your opinion. What did you think of this amazing journey of Louis Vuitton? Did you imagine that the brand had such a humble origin? Leave your comment below and share your view of this legendary trajectory. And if you liked this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you don't miss any exclusive content about the biggest stories in the world of luxury and fashion. We see each other in the next video.